Today I'll be talking about how to use Fabric for iOS in React Native's new architecture. So first of all, you have to generate a default React Native app. I am using version 71.1, and the next thing you have to make sure is that check the Ruby version which you are using. So I will tell you my Ruby version is 2.7.6. Make sure you have set this Ruby version for your system. You can use RBENV and check its documentation. So next you have to cd into your iOS directory, and to enable new architecture, first you have to run this command. Now if you run this command, you might face an issue. First issue which I faced was regarding this. So if you get an issue something like this, you just have to run this command inside your project directory, not inside your iOS directory. Come back to your project directory and run this. Then again go into your iOS directory and try running this command. If you still face an issue something like this, you might want to try running this command inside your project directory or inside your iOS directory. I'm not sure either one of them. You might want to check other answers as well, like if this main answer does not work for you. Now if everything works for you after running this command, just try to run yarn iOS, and you should see this fabric colon true thing inside your metro bundler. If you see this, then the new architecture has been enabled inside your project. Now we will go to the Fabric native modules documentation. So I already have a video for Android. This is only for iOS, so if you want you can check the Android video. So what does Fabric native module mean? Suppose there is some kind of a UI that is only available on native side, like from Android or iOS side, and it is very difficult to build it on React Native side. So you can use existing infrastructure from Android or iOS native side and import it inside your React Native stuff. So first we have to do project setup. So in this documentation they have mentioned that you have to create an RTN center text as a sibling to your project, but I don't know, I faced a lot of issues because of this. So what I have done is that I have created this folder inside my project and not as a sibling to my project. So if you see, this is my project, and inside that I have created RTN center text. Okay, next thing is you have to generate Android, iOS and JS folder. Forget about this generated package.json and pod spec, we will do that later. Just generate Android, iOS and JS folder. Next, inside your JS folder you have to create one file, and you have to define what exactly this file is. So for in our use case, we are going to send some text from React Native side to the native side, and inside the native side we are just using a UI label to display some text which is sent from React Native side to native side, and display that UI label from native side to React Native side. Okay, so also the naming is important. So here RTN, then whatever your component name you want it to be. So here it is center text, and inside of my JS folder, again this naming is important. RTN, my component name, native component.ts. Okay, and the next thing is you can define something like this. Again this naming is important, RTN center text, and here I would be only sending the text from React Native side to native side. You can define other props if you want to. Next, you have to define a package.json file. This should not be inside the JS folder. It should be on as a sibling to the JS folder, not inside the JS folder. So I have defined a package.json file, copy pasted everything from the documentation and just pasted it over here. Again the naming is important. So RTN center text here, then this is important. Okay, this could be anything, and inside a code gen you have to specify this name is important. Okay, Now you have to create a pod spec file. Again, name is important, so rtn dash center dash text pod spec, and this should be as a sibling to your iOS or JS folder. It should not be inside the iOS folder. So I have created this pod spec file. Again, copy pasted everything from the documentation. Next, okay, this is Android thing, you can ignore it now. What you have to do is that, so I am inside my project directory. My app name is project name is rn app fabric. Now here I will only run yarn. Wait, I will just copy paste it here. So I will only run yarn add. So instead of this double dot, I need only single dot, because rtn center text is already inside our project directory. It is not as a sibling to your project directory. Okay, so that's why single dot in our case. Then after running this command, you have to write cd dot dot. So I will go back to the desktop. Okay, now just copy paste everything from this, don't run it, and you would have to make the following changes on your side. So I will tell you what the changes are. Firstly, change it to your project name. So I have changed it to rn app fabric. Next thing, again here your project name should be changed. Again here your project name should be added before rtn center text, because our rtn center text is inside the project directory. Then you would get this generated folder. So here you can see the generated folder will get automatically generated. Once you see the generated folder, I have just created these three files inside my iOS directory: rtn center text manager.mm, rtn center text.h, rtn center text.mm. Okay, so I have created these three files. Again, I have copy pasted everything from the documentation, so you can copy paste this, and this is the most important file where we are actually creating the UI view and UI label. And here you can see we are setting the initial value. Okay, here we are setting the label value from whatever we have got from the React Native side. So you can copy paste everything. So this is the rtn center text.mm. and this is the text manager.mm. Next, what you have to do is go to again to your project directory, and you have to again run yarn add dot slash, not double dot slash, rtn center text, and again go back to your iOS directory and run rtn center this command. Once that is done, to use it on the JS side, you just have to import this, and you can use your component something like this. So we have defined text as a prop, uh, so this would be sent from React Native side to native side, so something like this, and you should see a label with a UI view saying hello world, a UI view with a label saying hello world. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Bye.